today is another nail day. So first off, we're going to go ahead and start on my uncle's wife's nails, and we are going to be doing this square look on her. We are using Nail Central tips, but you guys, if you guys are new here, my name is Lorena Aguirre, and I post here on my YouTube channel every Monday and Saturday. So if you guys haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And let's go ahead and talk about what we're doing. So we are gluing down these Nail Central tips. These, if you guys don't know, it's a fairly new brand. I love their stuff. It's great. But now I'm going to go ahead and put down my glue. The glue that I am using is from MONTAGE Nail Supply. You guys all knew I am an ambassador for their store. So if you guys are in the local area, definitely make sure to check them out. They are off the 15 freeway if you guys are on the way to Las Vegas. We are a very small town that we live in, so it is growing. It has grown so much just over the pandemic, honestly. But yeah, so now I'm going to go ahead and size them. I know everybody tells me I should try the magnet trick. And if you guys don't know what the magnet trick is where you put magnets on the back of your nail cutter and it sizes it that way instead of having to go back and forth. Because you guys could see on some of these, I ended up having to go back so many times. And it would actually cut down my time a lot, but I just have yet to get them. And every time I'm on Amazon, I completely forget. So yeah. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and size these. She wanted them like a medium length, a short medium length. So we went ahead and went with that. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my sanding band ready. And I am going to put that on my e-file and start blending the tips. When you are doing this, it is key that you do not file their natural nails at all. You are just blending the tip. So the reason why you want to do this is because a lot of time with colored acrylic, what will happen is that you'll just end up having the tips poke out and it'll end up being clear once you end up going and file, and it's just not a good look. So if you guys want more tips on this, make sure to follow me on my Instagram, just because I do have a lot of videos on there. But sorry, my big ol' head is getting in the way and it's making the camera go out of focus. But I am just going to go ahead and prep all of her tips and dust them off. And I am going to be dehydrating. This dehydrator I love. I've used it forever. It's great. I definitely like to dust off any dust or debris that is on the nails, so then it doesn't end up getting all over my primer and things like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my protein bond. The protein bond that I use is from Young Nails. You guys already know. I love that stuff. If you guys want to purchase these, they are going to be in my Amazon storefront. You go ahead and just click that link that's at the bottom of my video, and it will go ahead and take you there to all of my social media platforms and all that jazz. But you guys could see it's all coming together. I love these tips. You guys could see how square and pretty they look. Alright, now I am getting my brush. This brush is one that I maybe plan on putting out for Opulence Nail Co. So if you guys would like to see this brush on the shop, definitely make sure to comment down below, just because this has been my favorite brush of all time, and I'm being dead serious when I say that. So I've been testing it out for a long time. If you look at videos, it's probably been a year that I've been testing it out. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think about it. Do you like the color? What are things that you do and you don't like about it? But the color that I am using is Glamorous Nude, and I think it's just a really, really pretty color. But this one is from Valentino, just in case you guys were wondering the brand, of course. But I definitely like to make sure that when I'm doing my application, I am also actually shaping as well. When I am laying the acrylic, I don't want to end up having like a whole bunch of lumps and bumps in the nails, just because it does end up taking me a lot longer to file if there is any of that going on. So I know with the new year, it is still a ways away, but you guys, I think my new goal for the new year is to do a 1-bead method and try to get that going. Right here on these nails, I am doing like a 2-bead method maybe 3, but for the most part, I am trying to keep my beads down and not having to pick up so many just because I'm trying to do time management. I know with doing Instagram nails and things like that, honestly, sets of nails have actually taken me a lot longer. Before, when I was doing nails for about 3 years, honestly, you guys, I feel like doing a set of nails was quick. I would have it down to like maybe at the most I would spend is 2 hours. Now some sets I'm like spending like 3 or 4 hours on them, but it's like the complexity of them and the work that gets put into them. So honestly, you guys, I kind of was even sitting down wondering one day, like, what am I doing different? Why am I taking so long? Like, and just all these things. But honestly, it's like the work that people want nowadays is so much different than what the work used to be. And honestly, like, to me, it's like I feel like I, with doing YouTube and with being on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, honestly, I critique my work. So if it's not perfect, I'm going to redo it. And for this set, for instance, I just want to be real with you guys. I did end up having to do the flames so many times over, but it's because the way they were sticking. So I'll go ahead and touch base on that once I get closer to it. But you guys, I was so frustrated. I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, should I have even done this set? And keep in mind, this set was a freestyle, so that's kind of why, like, I'm saying, like, should I have done it? Not because, like, I didn't want to do, like, the nails or anything like that, because I did. I was super excited to use these art pigments, but it was actually ended up being a fail and having to do over and over again. So, yeah, that was, like, kind of, like, what I was going through when I was creating this. I was just like, oh my gosh. But I think sometimes with this, it kind of like teaches us trial and error, kind of just takes us a longer ways than, I don't know, than if you do end up just doing everything right. So it's like, honestly, like every time you fail, you learn something. So honestly, I feel like I'm not even mad at that just because I'd much rather it happen like on a family member than for it to happen on an actual client, especially when I am booked back to back to back that day. With the next note, I am going to better explain to you what I am doing just because I did know I went on a little bit of a rampage, and it was a long one. But you guys, I am really loving this brush. I hope you guys enjoy watching me work with it. And let me know if you guys, down in the comments down below, if this is something that you guys would be interested in for the shop. So next bead is I am going to go ahead and pick it up and apply it. And just kind of dab it down and then start to shape it and work on cleaning up the sides and the free edge and taking out anything that is underneath the nail. That is really important when you are working on nails, is to take out whatever acrylic is stuck at the bottom. And you guys can see I'm taking out with my finger and with the brush. But it's because I don't want to end up having like any of that on there, just because a lot of times clients, if they are pickers, they will pick and pick and pick until it is completely gone. So just keep that in mind. So now I'm going to go ahead and pick up another bead, dab it down, and pat, 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 and swipe to kind of blend it. And you guys, I am so proud of myself because I have been doing a 2-ball method pretty much this whole set. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, especially since my new, and I feel like I'm getting closer to my goal for 2023. I haven't really been working on it. I haven't really been focusing on it because if you guys watch my videos, a lot of times I do 2, 3, 4-ball bead methods on my sets of nails, and honestly, you guys, I do feel like it ends up making me take a whole lot longer. So I'm hoping that learning the 2 to 3 bead method, it is going to help me. But now that she is all done, I'm going to go ahead and clean up a little bit, get rid of my monomer, and put it in the trash with a lid on it, just so I am not smelling that super, super strong smell of the dappen dish right in front of my face. I do keep the fan on top of me going, just so then it kind of circulates the air and I have the window open also. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a file, and I am just going to go ahead and shape these. And I am just making sure that there is no acrylic stuck to the sides, filing that, making sure that they stood nice and square, and then I will just be blending everything down. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and go across the tops of the nails, getting rid of any lumps and bumps in the nails. For the most part, I do feel like my application was really, really smooth. I just want it to make sure that it blends and the apex is in the right area. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. And I am also trying to make sure that the edge of the tips of the nails is nice and thin. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and get my e-file. The e-file I love for finishing up the nails and kind of blending the body of the nail up into the cuticle area, just so then it is nice and smooth and the cuticle is flush. And there is no acrylic left on the skin, just because that is very important if you don't want premature lifting and all that jazz. So I'm just going to go ahead and making sure the tip of the nail is nice and thin, and then work my way up to the cuticle and smooth that out and clean up underneath the nails a little bit if I have to. Usually this is what they call sealing the cuticle, and it is just kind of making sure that everything is smooth and just no acrylic is around the cuticle. And so the grow out of the nail is nice and pretty. Alright, you guys, so I went ahead and pulled out my light. I went ahead and buffed off camera, but next I'm going to go ahead and go in with a matte top coat. Just in case you guys were wondering what matte top coat I did use, it was a Nail Essentials top coat. And this is kind of where I failed at this design. So the reason why I want to say using the matte top coat was a fail was because all the art that I ended up putting on here with the nail pigments and stuff, it ended up sticking. So honestly, the best thing that I could have done was smooth out the nails the best that I can, where there was no scratches or anything like that inside or on the nails, because I would have been able to have a smooth application. But because I had did this, it ended up kind of making it like a little bit rubbery in a way, so it attached my pigment to the matte top coat also, not only the design. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and open up my pigments. These are the 4 colors that she did end up picking out. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I went ahead and did the design right here. And I wanted to be able to show you guys what happened with these. So I went ahead and buffed them in. But all honestly, you guys, if you guys are doing this, I highly recommend using a brush rather than a sponge with this. So that was one of the mistakes that I ended up making with this. I used the little sponges that came with it instead of the brush, and then I switched to the brush, and I was like, okay, you know, it's blending a little bit better. It's not as bad. And then I kind of noticed that it was sticking a little bit to the polish a little bit more than I wanted. So you guys could see when I dusted it away, it's actually supposed to come right off, and it didn't. I was so frustrated because I worked so hard on making the flames as pretty as I wanted and things like that. So, and now I have to go back and buff off all the stuff and wipe it all down and retrace it all exactly, because if I don't end up tracing all of it, what will end up happening if I even miss one spot is there will be a gap where the pigment doesn't catch. So I ended up having to do this design over, and on top of that, I ended up having to do it another time even after this. So my frustration was through the roof, you guys. I'm laughing now, but I was like kind of like shocked in the middle of it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and go over them and then put them back in the light. Now I'm buffing the other side so I could make sure that it is not such a tacky layer, and I'm going to dust it away. But what I should have did is just done the flames right on top of the acrylic and didn't put any matte top coat on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and use this brush. It's a little bit of a fluffier brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend all of this in, and I'm going to dust it away. And you guys could actually see the flames, which I was happy about. So I'm going to go ahead and outline the other one and let you guys watch me through my struggles. Alright, you guys, and this is round 2 of the fill. I ended up putting this matte top coat on, and you guys can't really see in video, but it ended up leaving this extremely streaky, and it was just not it for me. So off camera, I ended up actually having to buff it all out and do one of the hands completely all over again, just because how much I really didn't like it. So moral of the story, do not ever put pigment over a matte top coat. Alright, you guys, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get my crystal gel. This is something that I do plan on having in my shop as well. The quality of this gel, this crystal gel, is amazing. I've been playing around with it and kind of adjusting some things on it. So if you guys would like to kind of see more of this kind of stuff on my shop, make sure to comment down below, you guys. I am finally in the process of being able to invest my money into my store and get it going for you guys, because I know a lot of times you guys ask me what products I am using and I'm unable to answer because if you guys don't know, we ended up purchasing a home and we needed a home for my son, and in the process of all that too, we're also renovating the house. So we moved into a fixer-upper, which honestly has been my dream, but it ended up being a dream, but it turned into a nightmare. So if you guys want a video on that, please let me know, comment down below, because it has been rough. I don't really talk about it on here that much just because I like to keep it nails and personal life separate and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely make sure to comment down below if that is something you guys would like to see. I am using this crystal gel and I'm applying my crystals. I get my crystals from all over the place, so it's really hard to say where I get each one from. But I do still have some Swarovski crystals, which I am using right here. But I don't know anywhere where you're able to actually get them, you guys. In just a sec, you guys will be able to see the finished look. I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. And also let me know if you guys like seeing my fails, just because I do feel like for me, I definitely learned from it. And I'm hoping that you guys will learn from it too, just because, I mean, working with pigments is something new to me. So if it's new to you also, definitely make sure to hit that like button if you guys enjoyed seeing my struggles. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.